Hey everyone, it's Jean. So today I thought I would spend a little bit of time with you while it was nice and sunshiny, and we could make some houses. These are mixed media, pretty much, because we are using a lot of different papers and trims. These are great for helping to clear out your stash of papers that you may have. I have a bunch over here. I'm sure you can see my pile. So I have another one that I just started covering. What I'm using as the back is some watercolor paper that I had used for something else and either didn't turn out, pardon me, or just scraps. So I'm starting with the base there, and just mainly book pages, not anything fancy. As far as inking is concerned, I'm actually using Rusty Hinge, which I like. It kind of gives an orange tint, but it's still a fun color to use. So if you haven't used it before, it's a really nice color to use for distressing. And then I have a couple Tim Holtz things here and there, so I'll have to see what I'm going to actually put on the piece. But I wanted to use some of these, they're actually checks that I got from one of Kim Newberg's printables. So if you haven't been online recently, check the coffee shops. I'll list some of them below. And those coffee shops have printables in them that you can purchase or you can get free, and then you can use them in your art however you want to. So I'm just going to tear this one down, and I'm going to make kind of, I'm going to make part of the door with this. So what I like to do when I'm making my houses is do a little bit of layering. So to do that, I have some brown that we could tear down. I think this is just like brown sort of construction type paper, not anything special. And let me move this up while I'm thinking about it so you guys will be in frame. Even though I try my best to make sure you're in frame, sometimes you get out of frame. Sorry about that. So, and I'm going to tear the top of that. I don't like it quite that high. And I got those little glue bottles. I don't like the little dangly thing on them, but that does keep them from drying up. I just used this a second ago, so it dried. In this, it's not hot today, and the sun was shining more, so we had gotten some rain, and I think that's why the weather cleared up a little bit. So I'm gonna put this down first, And then before I put the door on, I need something to cover up the top of this page. And actually, I have a very old, it's like a ledger book, and so the paper is very, very fragile. But I ran it through my printer, and actually it did print somewhat on here, which was good because I wanted to print this little certificate. Let me pull this up a little tiny bit and lay this here. Now, if you all, you've seen me before use gel medium on a lot of things, and gel medium is great, especially when you're doing any type of like collaging, which is sort of what I'm doing here. But what I don't want to happen, especially with this kind of paper that has writing on the back and it's very thin, what often happens is it gets, it turns the color to black, and I don't want, or it'll make it look dark, and I don't really like, I don't want to do that with this. So we are sticking with just glue today. So let me go around this, and I'm going to ink it again. Ink some of those edges. Now, what I like is I like the torn edges, but sometimes, as I mentioned, when you're dealing with papers that are very fragile, you don't always have the luxury of allowing those papers, you know, to kind of stay where you want them to. Actually, I'm going to bring in a piece of lace here because, and I'm going to try to tear this, so those of you who don't like using up your vintage lace because it's a travesty, don't look. Okay, this looks good. So actually, I'm gonna tear it a little bit more on the opposite side. Only one side really got torn. So we are going to, actually, I kind of like that. Okay, I can do another piece if I want to for the top, because I have to make the roof yet. So I'm going to see if I can tear off the edge. I think that's what's the thing here. So I'm going to tear off the edge, and then we get kind of this diamond-shaped pattern. So I'm going to put this over to the side, and then where's my door? Okay, so let me go around my door a little bit more. I want it to be nice and inked up because I want it to be able to be seen on top of our lace, but not hit. Actually, maybe I'll just put it over like this. Okay, so let me put some glue down here. And this glue, to be honest with you, it was some glue that I had that got mixed with probably Elmer's and I'm not sure what else, but it's probably a combination of two. So if you're looking for this type of glue, I can't guarantee you will find it. But it probably has some of the art glitter glue in it, because that's one of my glues that I do use on a regular basis. So, all right, so I'm going to just kind of cut this house roof randomly and just make sure I have, and I'm just using the base as a guide. And I kind of want that certificate of preparation to stick out. So I'm going to cut this down so that it's not so tall. And then let me see if my little hole punch will work here. I'm going to find the middle and I'm going to hopefully punch a circle. Okay, so here is my little roof. And we'll do some inking so that these all match. Now I think this paper may have gotten wet or bit on something, and that's perfectly fine with me. It gives it a different look sometimes when those colors bleed. Okay, so we could say that this would be like a little schoolhouse if we're going to keep the certificate of preparation at the top. So we'll see how that works out. And I'm just going to put the roof, I want it kind of in the middle, right above that. And I'm going to flip it over. Now the back sides are not going to look so wonderful until I cover them for journaling, because that's the idea of these. These can be used for journaling cards. They can be used for tuck spots. They can be used on a cover of a journal, whatever you want to use them for. I like the idea of using them for tuck spots and journaling cards. Houses are actually probably one of my favorite things to make as far as a mixed media type thing would be. I'm just going to take this, this is an archival ink pad, and what it basically means is it doesn't it's not going to rub off. So I'm going to put just some light wording here and there, and you probably won't even notice it when we're done. But it's just one of those little final things that you can do to, or things that you can do if you are a mixed media artist. You find there's some reason you think you need to add some of that. So I'm going to take these little pieces. Let me see. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with this. Actually, we could put it right here, right above the door. I like that idea. I was going to put it on the side, but I'm going to try to find something, or find something, maybe just some staples, one here and one here, that would look like some hinges. So we'll see then. And then these smaller pieces, I kind of wanted to use them as faux windows. So let me see how that works. A faux window here. Now, you may be noticing this and thinking like, oh, the colors are the same, and I'm noticing the same thing. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold off on those, and I'm going to go with the same brown, and I'm going to make some windows. And these windows, I want to make them rather big. And then, let me tear this. I always have a challenge tearing right on the end, but I don't want to do the middle because then I waste a whole bunch of paper, right? So here I'm going to ink this up, and I'm going to put this down and just make it like a little window right here. My other house, I don't think I put windows on it, but this one will have a window right here. And then I'm going to put another one. Hopefully I can get a tall, skinny one on the other side. Now, the great thing about making these mixed media houses and doing them like this is they're kind of whimsical and fun. And so what you get is an interesting, fun look to your project, but at the same time, you're making it functional because you're using it for your journal. So you can make yourself a house journal where you can put all of these in, or you can just make it a journal like we're doing today, where you would use these in an everyday journal for your tuck spots or your journaling cards. Now, this, I like that because it almost makes it look as if they have little shades or curtains or something on there. This looks really cool, so I'm pretty happy with that. Let's see what we need to do with our roof. So my idea of putting a hole here was so we could put something interesting, but you know what? The hole's not centered, so I may end up covering that up. I thought this lady, she looked kind of interesting, and I thought she might go on here really well because she probably, either that lady or this gentleman kind of just, you know, leaning on the door there. We'll see. Okay, so I have this here, and I'm wondering if that's just too much with all of this. So I think I have right here, if I'm not mistaken. I thought I had under, oh, those are my other scissors. I was thinking I had a box of buttons. And buttons and trinkets, and I know I did. It's just hiding out over here. Sorry, I had to have a little bit of coffee. So what I'm thinking with this one, push it up here. If you guys have been watching any of my videos as of late, I've been using my markers quite a bit, so I haven't cleaned up. I'm guilty. I'm sorry, so please forgive me for that. Okay, here is a really cute dangle, so I'm going to keep that in mind. And you know what is also a really cute thing to do with these houses is if you get a style going, you can make all kinds. So like you could make this one be like, well, this one could just be a cottage. And then this one, a preparatoria, which is a school. So you could do and call your houses different things to make it more interesting. Okay, so it looks like mostly in here I have I have a key. And those dangles. And not much else that I would probably put on here. Except for maybe that star. I thought I had stars that were different colors. Okay, so let me put this back. So what can we do to kind of brighten up our house? Okay, let me look in these. These are just my scrap papers. And I think I am going to cover up the hole. So I have this clock of sorts. I don't really love that. How about a big number 7? That's pretty cool. I like that. So let's put a big number 7 over there. Don't really need to ink it up. It probably wouldn't show very much. So that way we can cover up the hole that didn't really serve its purpose because I wanted it to be a little further down. I have a larger punch. I'll have to get that for any other ones that I make. So this is house number 7. And I need my heavy thread. So I sort of have a question for you all. When you are starting your projects and you have a good idea of what you want to do, And let's say I have so many little things here that can go in the trash that I don't know where my pin cushion is sitting. What I was asking is, do you, when you start a project that you're working on, for example, if you were going to work on these houses, would you know ahead of time every single piece that you would use? Or are you like me and you kind of make as you go? Because I sometimes think I'm a slower creator because I think too much about what I'm doing and I don't just do it. You know what I mean? So I was just wondering from my fellow crafters or junk journalers, if you're not really into junk journaling, maybe there's another kind of artistic thing that you do that I would be excited to learn about. Recently, I've been following some people that are doing watercoloring because I'd like to know how to watercolor better. So if you can't see me, I'm off screen trying to thread a needle. So bear with me a second. And I'm the kind of person that I can make a decision on the fly if I need to, but for most cases, I like to have options, and I like to be able to say yes or no. And that's something that's very important to me. Let me just fix something. Okay, el número 7 tiene que ir arriba de donde dice preparatoria, porque no quiero borrar eso. Okay, I had to fix the 7. Let me put some more glue down because I didn't, it was covering up where the whole reason I wanted the preparatoria to show. So, okay, let me see if I can get this threaded because I think I want to put a key on here, and then I may put something else that I need thread for. So I'm thinking in the future, so that I would be prepared in case I'm going to use thread, is to have a needle threaded. How about that? I know I have some vintage needle threaders here. I thought I had actually a needle with a bigger eye, but when you want it, you cannot find it because the kind of thread that I'm using is actually thicker. It's a button thread, so it does require either skill that I don't have or a larger needle. Okay, I'm going to give this up for now because I'm taking up your time and I didn't want to do that. So the house is quite cute the way it is. I fixed the numero 7 so that it would be more in the appropriate location. And then I do need to add some kind of color to this page for sure. So I'm going to, first of all, I don't know if y'all can see this. I'm just going to put like a little line here, kind of indicating that we have window, and then I don't want to really put anything too cheesy on this because it's, you know, so pretty. But I do have some dried flowers in here that I could probably get away with putting on here. Let me put some out. I need something with color, so let's make a little floral arrangement here. We'll put something, whoa, that broke off, but that's okay. Put something up there, and I love these. They're like fern. And we can put some purple, and the purple is gonna need a stem. Okay, so for this, I'm going to use my gel medium, if I can reach it here. And I'm going to dry it off because I don't want it to be real wet for these flowers. So the first one I'm going to put on, first I'm going to put some of this gel medium down. That way when I lay this flower piece on it, or stem piece on it, it should kind of automatically glue or stay down somewhat. Okay, I want you to go up here. Okay, that's fine. And dried flowers are very fun to work with. However, if you're going to put them on a project like this, you really do need either a Mod Podge or a gel medium or something that you can use that will seal them, because if you do not, they'll come apart and then it'll ruin your whole aesthetic for your piece. So I hope you guys are seeing this well enough. And so I'm just going down over the petals, and I'll go over the top. And then the gel medium, of course, it dries clear. You've seen me use it before. And that way we have that really pretty purple flower on there. This one is thick enough, I believe, that I can just glue it. So let me take a look and see if I put some glue. Make sure you guys can see too. I'm just gonna put some glue right down the stem and then some on the leaves. I wish I had my tweezers, but I don't know. I don't know where they are. I do have these. I don't like them as well. Okay, let's see if I can turn this. But they're nice for helping to position things. And then on this one, I'll put some glue as well. On this time, glue, 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 glue. I'm gonna kind of overlap it if I can. That way it doesn't look like there was a break in the piece. Very nice. I like that a lot. And on this side, let me put down some more gel medium over here. And we will put this leaf, bush. It kind of reminds you of a bush, doesn't it? So we'll put it on. I'm going to take off this last little piece and I'll save it if I can for another project. So I'm going to put this down. Nice and covered so it doesn't come off later, because we don't want that to happen. Okay, and then let me see what I can find tiny that might go on there. That's going to be, again, the color of our design there. Let me see if I can find something. Let me see what this is right here. This is a cute little piece. I think it's like we'll just put more than one on this stem. How about that? Now this is a little bit lumpy, so I don't know how it's gonna go on. Let's see. I don't want to ruin it. Okay, I'm gonna just leave it like that for now and let it dry. Okay, so we have our house here. We've added a little bit to it. It's number 7 is, we're gonna call it the schoolhouse. So you don't have to call it that if you don't want to, but I thought that was a cute name because of the pieces up there. And then once I get my needle threaded, I'm just going to add this key to it. So when I do the final video photo, you should see the key. And I don't think I'm going to add anything else. No people. I might add a butterfly if I have a small enough one. But for now, that's going to be it. And thank you so much for visiting my messy desk. I am glad to be back with you. I hope you were able to see everything. And have a great day. Bye for now.